Hey everyone, Mac Gardner here, certified financial planner and author of Motivate Your Money. I am joined today by the one, the only, Maya Corbic. Maya, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Mac, for having me on.
Now, Maya, I know you for all the great work that you do with early childhood financial literacy, and the folks that are probably looking at this video say, "Hey, I know her. She does really, really cool stuff." So, could you take a few minutes and tell everyone out there about your mission and about what you do for the community?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, hi, everyone. My name is Maya. I actually teach children financial literacy. I also help parents teach their children financial literacy. I am an immigrant. I immigrated when I was 15 years old with only two suitcases and $50 with my family. And I lived in government housing, government shelters. Had two part-time jobs when I was in high school, but that did not deter me to learn about money. So I became a CPA. And when I was married, when I first got married, my husband and I had about $60,000 of debt, like student loans, car loans, and so on. And we managed to pay all that off by the time I was 32, including our mortgage. So we were financially free. And so I realized that if I can do this, considering my background, I really believe that everyone can do this. And so I kind of wanted to see what was there out there for my kids. And back when I started doing this was about 11 years ago, there really wasn't much in terms of education for kids. I mean, since then, so much has happened. I mean, Mac has this wonderful book for Money Bears. If you haven't seen it, you really need to make sure you get your hands on it. But yeah, there's a lot out there now for our kids. And I do a lot of workshops online as well as in school. I have an investment club that teaches families how to successfully invest. It's called Wealthy Kids Investment Club. And it's really exciting because I am about to publish a book that teaches kids how to invest. And it's
Awesome.
essentially, yeah, a fun book that has everything that I wish I learned when I
Yeah,
was a kid.
yeah. And that's part of this project, this whole three pointers project, Maya, is I believe, as well as you, that all we are at the end of our days is a collection of stories, right? And messages that we get. And sometimes we're fortunate to get them early, and sometimes we're not fortunate to get them. So the whole idea here is, you know, as a thought leader, as someone who is engaging people and helping to change financial habits and financial attitudes, what are the top three financial motivational money messages? You know, the top three for everything: sodas, cars, cereal. So what would your top three messages be, Mike?
I think the top three for me are actually things that I learned later on in life. My parents were decent with money, but they didn't teach me investing. They didn't teach me any of these things that I'm going to share here today.
Mhm.
But I think they're really important. So the first one for me is passive income. So for those of you who are watching this and don't know what passive income sorry, for those of you who are watching this and don't know what passive income is, essentially passive income is when you're making money without exchanging time for it. And most of us are taught that we need to work hard, we need to exchange our money for it, we go to job, and that's how we earn our wages. But investing obviously is like one easy way to, not, I won't say easy, but it's a way to
Anyway,
earn yeah, to earn passive income. But there are other ways, we could be creating resources like, if you have a particular skill, you could create a course and you do the work once, but then by selling this course and by having other people purchase this course, let's say online, essentially that is earning you money. And you could be on vacation, you could be sleeping, but there's this passive income. This money is still coming in. And I think it's a beautiful thing because it just kind of beats that myth of, oh, we have to work hard. We have to exchange our time for money, but we don't necessarily need to do that.
you know, one of my favorite sayings is your money can work harder for you than you can work for your money.
Yeah, your
And
money can work 24/7, right?
25/8. It can go even further. But no, that's true. I like that. So yeah, so passive income, that's number one. So what would number two be? I'm curious.
So number two, again, I didn't learn this from my parents. And a lot of people out there think this is like a fluffy one, but it's
Mhm.
really not. I think it's our money mindset. So
Mm.
We all grew up in a certain environment.
Mhm.
I'm talking about, not only our family home, but also the community that we grew up in.
Mhm.
And, that community and the environment that we grew up in, it shaped our money
Mhm.
mindset.
Mhm.
And so sometimes, we may think that we may not be able to reach certain goals because, this is kind of all we know.
Yeah.
And I usually tell like the parents that come to my workshops, I usually tell them, think about what you saw when it comes to money when you were growing up. What did you hear about money? And
Mhm.
what did you witness? So for example, like, did you witness your parents arguing about money? Because a
Mhm.
lot of times people are like, well, I don't want too much money because subconsciously, right? On a
Mhm.
some subconscious level, they're like, I don't want too much money because money causes strife, money
Problems.
causes arguments,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
even though you're saying, yes, I want to make a lot of money, there's something holding you inside.
Mhm.
And, if we don't address whatever's holding us inside, not only that we cannot progress, but we're also going to pass
To
that
our
on to our
kids.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many different money mindsets. Like for me personally, I'm just going to use myself as an example. Growing up in poverty,
Mhm.
I've learned how to make do.
Yep.
So I'm fine. I'm okay not spending money. And I actually have a problem spending money because
Mhm.
now I can treat myself. I
Yeah.
can go out for dinner.
Yeah.
Just recently, I actually did a live and I talked about this beautiful dress that I could have afforded, but I decided not to buy because I was like, it's too much money. But in the meantime, I ended up spending, I bought like three other things that
Cost
cumulatively,
more.
it cost exactly actually the same as the dress. And
Oh,
the thing was like, I didn't really want those things that much as I wanted the dress. So
yeah.
mindset is a really powerful thing. Like we may think it's not, but it really
It's huge.
affects
It's
us.
huge. And the way I look at that is there are typically two mindsets when it comes to money. There's a scarcity mindset and there's the abundance mindset. And how you grow up, Maya, has a huge impact in your reaction to money, your reaction to something that if you are in an abundance mindset, it's always going to be there, so you spend it more freely. Or if you are in a mindset where you know what, never really have much of it, so I've got to
I
be
gotta
careful
hold
how I
on.
use it. Yeah, so no, that's very true. So I totally agree with you. I think mindset is a huge aspect. All right, let's jump into number three. What's that third one?
So the third one is again, it's just the concept that I like to apply to every area of my life, but I also like to encourage people to apply it to finance. And I even have like a little slogan in my office. You can't see it, it's just kind of over there. And it says, a little progress each day adds up to big results.
Mhm.
So small steps can lead to big results. So a lot of times, like people who are starting to learn more about finance or want to get their life in order when it comes to, money, they just don't know where to start.
Mhm.
And my advice to everybody is like, you know what, just start small.
Mhm.
You don't need to know budgeting and debt management
You don't need to
and
boil the ocean.
investing.
You don't need to boil the ocean.
Exactly. Just like pick one area you want to focus on. Maybe for the next few months, it's you focusing on your budget,
Mhm.
figuring out how much money you're spending and planning like, okay, what your family budget is going to be. Once you have your handle on that, then maybe you can tackle your debt. And
Mhm.
maybe after that, you can think about investing. But you just cannot attempt to do everything at once or like take these gigantic steps. It can be really overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
And then I think like it just makes us want to give up.
Yeah, yeah. I totally can understand that, as a CFP or a planner, you're a CPA, you have folks that come to you with an issue, a problem, and so many times they want to tackle everything, and you can't. Every great journey begins with a first step. You can't just jump out and do things. So I totally agree and understand what you're saying. But part of it is coaching too, and that's what I love about what you're doing and what you're building, Maya, is providing people the framework. Look, if you were never taught this, if it was never taught in schools, if you have a bunch of bad muscle memory when it comes to your finance, it's really, really hard to change what you've been doing over time. So I think your top three are awesome. Do us a favor, please, Maya, if you could. Could you recap what your top three motivational money messages are?
Absolutely. So number one is creative passive sources of income.
Mhm.
You can do it. Think investing or think about, creating something that you do work once and then you can sell going forward and you can be making money while you're sleeping on vacation or whatever. Number two is figuring out your money mindset. So if you have a scarcity money mindset, try to be consciously aware of it and change it to eventually, try to like change it to abundance mindset. There are a lot of great books out there, lots of great resources that you can use to help you out. And the third one is try not to do too much when it comes to your finances, especially if you're starting out. So small steps can lead to big results. Focus on one area first, master that, and then move on to the next area.
Maya, again, thank you for all that you're doing. Again, in the early childhood financial education space, in the grown up financial education space, it's amazing to see the growth that you've had over the years, been following your work. I like to say that your clients are blessed to have you in your life. The financial life journey is a long one. That journey continues, and you know this as well as anybody out there. Whatever motivates you, motivate your money. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.